Yo, shout out to the chat. Shout out to the YouTube streets. This is your homegirl. Uh, Barbosa. And I was just over there on King Anthony's channel. Now, he was live earlier. I mean, the whole channel, the panel, everything was going good. Everything was going good. And then, you know how you leave, how you're there, and then you leave out, and then you leave, and you come back in again. And this last time I came back, nothing is going on. It's just a live channel. I don't know who's sitting in that chat. I didn't even read the chat, but that just shows you how people don't pay attention to certain things that's going on these YouTube streets. Yo, shout out to the YouTube streets. Shout out to the chat. Yeah. So it's I believe it's Sunday morning. It's a few minutes to 5:00. And I have to be getting up real soon because I have some things I have to do today. Before tomorrow. Yeah, before tomorrow. But shout out to the chat. Shout out to the YouTube streets. Yeah. Is King Mafia Anthony asleep over there? See, this is what makes people angry with King Mafia Anthony. He will have a live, right? The panel would be going good. Everything would be going good over there. And then all of a sudden, the man will end up falling asleep. I'm going to tell you something. If you can't do an all-night live, do not hit the live. If you cannot do an all-night live, do not hit the live button. Or go live for maybe an hour or two and then shut it down. I don't give a fuck who's on the panel because they wasn't talking about nothing anyway. And I don't know if anybody paid attention to that thumbnail that he had up there. The thumbnail was terrible. I don't know what's going on over there. I really don't. I don't know what's going on over there. King Mafia Anthony. Yeah, see, this is why don't nobody want to go over there, Anthony. Because you always falling asleep. Don't drink before you do a live. Don't smoke any weed before you go live. You know, talk about something of meaning and substance. Yo, shout out to the meal ticket. He went live today. Actually yesterday. He went live Saturday, yesterday. And from what I understand, it was a pretty good live. You know, I was in and out. Shout out to the meal ticket. And Ronald Jones, for some reason, he likes to ask certain questions about the list that the meal ticket comes out with every month. Well, last month, which was March, the rabbits were not on the list. They were not on the list. Other people were on the list. Some people had a problem with the list. Some people felt okay about the list. The list is just for entertainment purposes only. It's not out here. He's not out here trying to hurt anyone or make anyone look bad. That's my opinion. That's the way I see it. You know, shout out to the chat. Shout out to the YouTube streets. Yeah. So, I guess Anthony fell asleep again. Anthony, you fell asleep again, my love. I don't know what's up with him. I really don't know what's going on over there. Oh, man. And I was in the middle of doing some other stuff earlier, but I got to get up in a few more minutes. Yeah, so shout out to the YouTube streets. I hope everyone has an awesome weekend. I know I haven't been going live lately. But it wasn't really nothing for me to talk about. Unless I was going to talk about my job, unless I was going to talk about the I ran into this week, unless I was going to talk. Oh, there is one thing I would like to talk about. There's one thing I would like to talk about. And I want to talk about people in real life, people that hate you, hate your guts in real life. Now, this morning, everyone, this morning, I had got up, right? I tended to my everyday business. See, I mind my business. So I left out of the house around 9 o'clock, 9:30. I walked all the way down there to the Family Dollar. I went down there. I bought me some stuff to eat. I came back to the house. So I bought me some stuff to eat. I bought me a pack of Cheyenne cigars, the strawberry flavored. I love strawberry flavored cigars for some reason. And then I walked back to the house. As I was walking back to the house, I was getting ready to go into the other store that's not too far from where I live. And there was this man there standing there with his bicycle. Now, what I usually do, I usually ignore people that stand at the bus stops because I don't like to do a lot of mixing up. I don't like to say good morning. I don't like to say hello. I don't like all that other bull jive because in real life, because of where I live right now, I'm from New York. But I live in the Charleston, South Carolina area. And one thing I have noticed and one thing I have discovered is that people in this area have low self-esteem. If you speak to them, you say hello, any kind of little conversation, you don't know what these people are internalizing in their heads. And in most cases, it's nothing positive. It's nothing good. Anyway, as I was walking to the store, minding my own business, the man kept telling me, good morning, good morning. I ignored him because there's no reason for anyone around here to speak to me, especially if you don't fucking know me. But anyway, obviously he do know me. He's been knowing me for a couple of years because I've been living in the same neighborhood for over 3 years now. Anyway, to make a long story short, he asks me, he put it in a question. Did I know that Birdman had passed away? I been knew Birdman had passed away over a year ago. This is one of Birdman's relatives. And this is why I don't like to do no mixing up, no talking to nobody. I ignored him. The man is a fucking hater. And I'm going to tell you something about people. All them people that say they were so close to him, they his family members and all this other bull jive bullshit. When that man was fucking homeless, running back and forth to the VA, seeing, talking to the people in the Veteran Administration building about his benefits, about his money situation. He was homeless, all right? All these so-called relatives and so-called friends, he wasn't living with none of them. Matter of fact, people treated him like they didn't fucking know him unless they wanted something from him. Now that he's gone and people are now catching on to the fact that he has passed away, you think you're gonna move in on what I'm doing? Hell to the fuck no. I'm gonna treat you like the way I treated you when he was fucking living, like you was fucking nothing. Because a lot of his relatives are fucking nothing. You know what I mean? Word. I don't have relatives like that. When I was living in New York, and let's say I was in a situation and I wanted to live with one of my relatives, my sister, my cousins, whatever, I did that. He did not do that. He did not have the option to do that. Nobody pushed for him to go and get his veteran stuff going again until I came around. until I started speaking up. I started telling them, go down to the VA, go down to the VA. And I know how hard it is for some veterans to get their benefits, to get what is owed to them. But my feeling is if you served this country in the military, you did any kind of military service for this country, and they are not treating you correctly, they're making you jump through hoops. They're making you do this. They're making you do that. They're making you produce all this paperwork, all this unnecessary bullshit because they don't want to do what they're supposed to do. Now, they didn't care that some of these people were drafted into the military. They didn't care that some of these people signed up, volunteered their time, they serviced, they went and served the country. They wore the uniform. They marched the long marches. They got into those military trucks. They did their jobs. I don't care if it was Navy. I don't care if it was Army. I don't care if it was Air Force. I don't care which branch of the service it was in. This country has a bad reputation of not keeping her promises to those that serve. If you serve in the military, especially in times of war, okay, in times of war, and you served, and this is my opinion and this is my belief, when you are finished with your service or you're still active, you should get more money. You should be allowed to have certain things. Period. Period. I don't know why this country treats their military people so terrible. I don't know why they're treating the veterans so terrible. I don't know why they have certain things in place. So when the people that are in the military, they want to leave the military, they get an honorable discharge. And it is so sad. It's so sad and so fucked up. Because I have a cousin, he died in 2011. His name was Alfred Dwight Textora. He was Cape Verdean American. Okay, shout out to the chat, shout out to the YouTube streets. He served during the Vietnam War. He served during the Vietnam War. He was a Marine. He saved his whole platoon. He did excellent. He did an excellent job in servicing this country. Don't you know that man had to wait years and years in order to even get his money benefits, his cash out payments? You know, it's really shameful how this country treats the people that serve this country. It's awful. It's shameful. It's awful. It's shameful. I don't understand why don't they use the old military rules of war. If you win the war, shouldn't you get spoils of war? Land, certain things, certain resources. You know what I mean? Word. For real, for real. I mean, for real, man. It's ridiculous on the things that go wrong when you go into the fucking military. But anyway, I hope everyone is enjoying their weekend. Yes, I know I have not been I have not been feeling very well anyway. Shout out to the chat, shout out to the YouTube streets. Yeah. But Friday, I had to make a decision. I had to go downtown. The day before that, I took off. Wednesday, I went in. You know, I worked whatever days I needed to work for this fucking week. I don't know what's going to happen next week. The young lady I was working with last Friday, she don't have the contracts up that she needs to have up right now. So that's up in the air. So it is what it is. I did my port, and that's one thing I can do. I can't do no more. I can't do no less. It is what it is. And I see that oh my God. I see that when I was looking at the meal ticket video, right? I was listening and I was like, he's having a good show. He's doing what he always does when he goes live. So, it is what it is. And it's so amazing to me that, a lot of people say, well, X, Y, and Z. You got some people that are YouTube creators and they don't mind cameraing up. They don't. Most of us, some of us in the sector, we do camera up. Some of us don't. And we don't necessarily have to cam up all of the time. But, if anyone was really paying attention, you know what the meal ticket looks like. He's a brother. He's a New Yorker. That, certain things. And shout out to the meal ticket, because I've been subscribed to him for quite some time and I enjoy his content very much. Yo, so that's the way. Yo, shout out to Sis. Sis went live. I want to say he went live Friday evening. I hope I'm saying it right. I think he went live Friday evening. Yeah, he did. And he had a good live. So it is what it is. So it seems like everything is coming back like the way it was on the YouTube. Moonlight went live twice yesterday. She went live yesterday morning. She went live a little earlier last night. She was on the panel on the meal ticket. She was on the panel for the King Anthony video. So shout out to Moonlight. Shout out to Moonlight. Shout out to all my subscribers. Shout out to my support team. Shout out to all my moderators that have been going live. Shout out to Mrs. V. She's been going live. She's been doing good. Very proud of her. Shout out to her. So it is what it is. Let me see who's in this chat. Oh, what's up, sis? Good morning. Uncle L, good morning. And my homegirl, good morning. Oh, hold on. Making YouTube great again. Yes. Sis, we ain't got no choice. We day one OGs in this sector, sis. Day one OGs. We've been around a long time. I was sitting in my apartment the other day, and I felt my chest tightening up. I felt the asthma attack coming on. You know what I did? I got up and I did what I could to stop the asthma attack from coming. And so I walked downtown. I said, fuck this shit. Fuck this shit. I ain't letting this asthma stop me from making my money. I need to watch that shit though. Cause that asthma be trying to sneak up on me. But I refuse to let it conquer me. As soon as the asthma symptoms try to come in, I take a cup, I put warm water in it, I put salt in it, I stir it around, I gargle. I take another cup, I pour some peroxide in it, little warm water, I'll gargle that. Then I worked all day Friday, just like that, not really breathing real good. I said, fuck this shit. So I went to the store and I bought me, what is those? Those Dayquil and NyQuil tablets. Yo, I took some of them, cleared right the fuck up. Cleared right the fuck up. Drank me some water. And of course, I smoked my cigars. Yes, child. Mm-mm-mm. Let me see who else. I gotta look for my glasses. Hold on, you guys. There we go. I got my glasses on. I got my glasses. Yes, good morning, everyone. Dang, you might as well shout out everyone. Yeah, shout out to everyone. Shout out to everyone on these YouTube streets and in my chat. And shout out to everyone that supports this channel, whether you sit in the bushes or not. Whether you sit in the bushes or not, shout out to you. Shout out to everyone that celebrated my birthday with me. That was very nice. That was very wonderful. Yeah. So these YouTube streets is back on track. The YouTube streets is back on fire. The YouTube streets is alive. Unfortunately for us, I believe Anthony fell asleep. On his channel. I don't know how the young man does this. The young man is 29 years old. I don't know how he keeps falling asleep on his channel. When he hits the panel on his channel, he falls asleep. Shout out to King Mafia Anthony anyway, even for falling asleep. And I'm out of here, you guys. Y'all have an awesome weekend. Peace. One.